The last 2 months are described as terrifying for a Houston woman who we're told is being detained in Dubai. Fox 26's Domily Keith joining us live near downtown Houston with why she's being held. Domily.
Well, the crime she's charged with may surprise you, and Dubai is increasingly becoming a vacation spot for a number of Houston women. One who's there right now, according to her social media page, is trying to get back to the Bayou City, but according to her mom, her passport has been confiscated because she was charged with screaming in public.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
The trip turned terrifying for Tiara Young Allen when her mom says she was a passenger in a friend's rental car and they got into an accident there in Dubai. Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money. She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
This website warns, quote, laws and customs are very different, so be aware of your actions to ensure they don't offend while in United Arab Emirates. Now, after Baxter says her daughter was charged with screaming in Dubai, her passport has been taken, and the American social media influencer who works as a truck driver can't leave the UAE, according to her mom. And her mom says she's been placed under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation.
It's very frightening. The longer she's been there, the more reality has started to kick in.
In our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
Now, the 29-year-old does now have an attorney there in Dubai, and her mom says she's told that she could face jail time because there is surveillance video of her screaming. Now, we have reached out to the U.S.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the true doctrine, called the four winds of the earth and all truth and sincerity. On the Mod Ariyah for the Mississippi Camp, Lord willing, this be an edifying lesson. Don't have a title for this lesson, but I think it's going to go into something like that U.S. mentality, that Western mentality failed in the East, or something to that effect. But basically, you got this Jake woman who went to Dubai and had some kind of altercation. I don't know for sure if it was a fender bender, a little accident or something, but she started, going in on the taxi driver or Uber, whatever they got over there. But anyway, basically, she was raising her voice, screaming, shaking her neck, cursing them out. But she's in a whole nother, region, man. She's in a country where they have strict rules for their women. That women are to behave in a certain fashion, or it be repercussions behind it. But she took that westernized, privileged mindset to Dubai and on their soil being, a nigger woman, basically. And they wasn't going. She got that green ass hair, just looking like a straight up nigger woman. And they already had a perception of black people, so-called black people in these other countries anyway, because of how the images are painted, but a lot of those paintings are actually how our people behave. And that was proof when she got over there with her behavior. But see, over here in America, over here in in the West, you know, and so like if I said that wrong a minute ago, but she took that westernized mindset over there to the East, okay? And that westernized mindset has really just poisoned the mind of people, man, especially when we come to these Israelites, man, or you Israelites, you know, to think that you can do anything and say anything, behave any kind of way, and you can get a slap on the wrist or no discipline at all. In most cases, a lot of cases, that does happen over here in America. But when you go to these other countries, the rules, the laws change. And you have to abide by their laws, by their rules. And if you don't, there's going to be repercussions. So now she's over there. Passport has been taken, been detained. And it's a serious crime where she could easily receive a prison sentence. And it's good for her. You know, this is going to paint a picture and change the mindset of other women going over there, how they would behave. Okay? And that's what America needs, man. These are the rules that, or the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that's needed, man. Because, you know, if a child misbehaves, according to the scriptures, if a child is unruly or misbehave, the parent would take the child to the elders and they would stone that child to death. You know, and that would put fear in people, and children won't behave wickedly or be unruly, or even grown people who are doing sinful deeds, who will be judged by being put to death. Okay. It wouldn't be behaving these particular ways, these particular fashions, doing these things. Whether they're unruly children, unruly adults, alphabet people, they would not be doing those things that they're doing if there was a public judgment being put to death by way of being stoned. Okay? So I'm going to get a couple of scriptures here, and I'm going to close this out. Let's get... This is the book of James, chapter 3, starting verse 7. For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea, is tamed and hath been tamed of mankind. Okay, let's read that in NLT. People can tame all kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and fish. So it's just basically saying animals can be tamed, reptiles can be tamed, fish can be tamed. You know, all kind of manner of animals can be tamed, basically can be controlled, okay? Verse 8, but the tongue can no man tame. It is unruly, evil, full of deadly poison. In the NLT, but no one can tame the tongue. It is restless and evil, full of deadly poison. So basically her tongue was unruly, and that poison she was spitting out that has been programmed and ingested in her from living in Babylon over here in the West, and she done took that venom over there and trying to spew it out on those lands, has put her in a very bad case because she wasn't obeying the laws of the land. Probably didn't even know them. Thought she could just shake her neck and curse and talk shit where she was at. But she was in for a rude awakening. Women cannot just be talking to men any kind of way in these other countries, especially over there in the East. And those are the results of it. And they probably gonna give her some jail time to make an example out of her for future people traveling to Dubai, not to be bringing this bullshit from the West over there. So let's see what the definition for unruly in the Greek is. It's unruly, that cannot be restrained, unrestrainable. Okay, and to restrain something, let's look, it's in the etymology: to stop, prevent, curb. Okay, to press, push together, curb, draw back tightly, tie back, confine, check. She should have checked herself. Okay, she should have checked herself. She should have stopped so she could have prevented these actions. But no, she's high and mighty, proud, programmed with Western philosophies, Western behaviors. Okay, and she took it to another place where it wasn't going to be tolerated. Keep in check or under control, deprive the liberty by restraint. So she couldn't control herself. She was unruly. She couldn't control herself. And she did what she would do over here in America on the soil of another country. And it failed her horribly. Now her good time to turn into a bad time because she couldn't control herself. She couldn't just fall back and have some type of restraint, some kind of moral behavior. She had to be a nigger woman, thinking she can just talk shit and get away with it. Guaranteed she's sitting up in there boo-hooing, crying, weed probably sitting sideways on her head, just looking horrible. Let's see what else we got here. This is go to I'm gonna bring this out real quick. In Numbers. This is Numbers chapter 12. Oh, let me get the NLT up on this too. Okay. This is Numbers 12, starting at verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman who he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. Okay, so Aaron and Miriam were speaking regarding Moses marrying this Ethiopian woman, right? And I guess they wasn't too happy about it. Verse 2, and they said, had the Lord deep spoken only by Moses? Had he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. So they doing their little murmuring, and the Lord heard them, okay? Speaking regarding Moses and the Ethiopian woman, okay? Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out ye the three unto the tabernacle of the congregation, and they three came out. And the Lord Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. And he said, hear my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my house. Verse 8. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and the similitude of the Lord Yahweh shall he behold. Wherefore Then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And that's the question right there. You know, the Lord has Moses. He's a man. The Lord has him in authority. You know, he speaks to him face to face, like he said, mouth to mouth. Okay. And if this man is the Most High's person or main guy he talked to or communicate with, you wouldn't have fear of that man. You wouldn't control your tongue, your unruly tongue, about questioning or saying anything about him. Okay? But this was Miriam and Aaron, okay? Now, let's continue on. Verse 9. And the anger of the Lord Yahweh was kindled against them, and he departed. Here's the point. Verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. So, who was speaking regarding Moses? Aaron and Miriam, right? Speaking of a matter regarding Moses marrying the Ethiopian woman. Okay, and the Most High Yahweh heard it. His anger was kindled. And who did he bring leprosy upon? He brought leprosy upon Miriam. Why? Because Miriam was a woman who was being unruly, speaking on a matter that wasn't her business, speaking on a situation that she had nothing to do with. And she was a woman, meaning what? She was out of place, out of order, and being unruly. She shouldn't have had nothing to say about it. But Aaron, he had his say-so about it and everything too, but the Lord was kindled, his anger was kindled with both of them. But Aaron, being a man, okay, also being a man of the Lord, did not have leprosy brought on him. He didn't have that curse put on him. So, point being, that woman was raising her voice, screaming and yelling or whatever else she was doing to a man over there. In a land where rules and regulations were set in place on how a woman should behave, especially when it comes to a man. And she broke those laws. And now she got to deal with the consequences of her behavior. Okay? So, the Lord is dealing with these women, man. The Lord is getting ready to bring back order. He's going to bring judgment. He's going to set up a righteous kingdom, and order of Yahweh Shai will be restored on the planet Earth. So, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, and Ruel. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.